Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Shira Raymond with Suddenly Single. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited. I have with me Lisa T. Daniels today, and she's an author, a speaker, fitness enthusiast, instructor, and a Heal Your Life teacher and a women's empowerment coach who is passionate about helping you discover a deeper, more insightful part of yourself. Some call her the confidence advocate since she wholeheartedly seizes the opportunity to work on self reconstruction and energy clearing in order to admirably alter her life, attitude, and direction. She attributes much of her success and growth to the teachings of Louise Hay. Because of this influence, Lisa has since received numerous certifications, which she now uses in her thriving coaching practice. She empowers women to radically transform their life by combining the techniques of breathwork, yoga, Pilates, healing techniques, and more. Lisa works in groups as well as privately with her clients as they build unshakable confidence in a new and awakened life. Lisa will take you on a profound and pivotal journey of self discovery and self love and help you to ultimately embrace the place where you feel abundant, hopeful, and filled with purpose. Wow, that's amazing. I love all of that. Lisa, thank you so much for joining me. I know we've been trying to work on this for a while, and I'm glad it finally happened.
Oh, thank you.
Um, yeah, so why don't you tell me a little bit about your Mind Body Fitness program and how that differs from other programs? Because I know most fitness programs, it's really about the body and not incorporating the mind and spiritual as well. So that's really
Yes,
unique.
yes. Well, I believe that in order to be healthy and to be fit, you need to embrace a whole balance of mind, body, spirit, everything. You know, the mental, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual. So I created a program which combines my coaching skills along with my fitness skills. And it is a well rounded program where we focus on everything. So I meet with my clients twice a week and we work out for 60 minutes. And then the other 30 minutes is coaching. And the program, I have two programs. One is a 6 week program and one is a 12-week program, and it comes with a booklet. So when they sign up they receive a booklet, and we'll go through this whole booklet in the 6 weeks and 12 weeks. So we really dive into everything related to mindset and patterns and loving yourself, everything basically. So it's a whole transformation. It's transforming from the inside out. So it's not just a body transformation. It will be a body transformation as well, because we will really dive into the physical, but it will also be an internal transformation.
Right, and I bet that really helps women to stick with the
Yes.
physical aspect as well,
Yeah.
because I know for me, that's, for a lot of women out there, it's very difficult to start a fitness routine and stick with it. And,
Yes.
so getting over that resistance could be really, really beneficial to making life transforming health benefits for somebody.
Well, exactly, because a lot of people give up because they don't believe, number one, that they can do it, or they just don't have the self confidence. Their mindset is maybe negative, or they're thinking negative thoughts and they're always self sabotaging. And, so they don't stick with something. They may do it for a period of time and then they let it go because they don't have that motivation, or their mind is just not in the right place. So when you focus on everything and you have that positive mindset, that transforms right into the body as well. So it's
Awesome.
a program. Yes.
All right. So, how did you develop this program? I mean, it's so unique and so different. I'd love to hear more about the differences between your program and what others are doing.
Well, I developed it after I became certified, which was 2 years ago, as a life coach with Louise Hay. And I've always been a fitness instructor, and I have always been into self growth and healing and transforming myself, and positive affirmations is just naturally who I am. And then after my life coaching certification, I decided that I would combine the two techniques together because that is how I have transformed my life and myself and my body. And I have been able to stay in great shape, and I'm in my late 50s. And
Wow, really? That's amazing.
yes.
I would have guessed maybe early 40s.
Oh, really? Oh, thank
Really,
you. That's sweet.
yeah.
So I have done it through, through mindset. And I work with women all day long, and I hear and I see the things that how they feel about themselves, and I hear the messages that they're saying, and we need help.
I
I really,
bet I bet there's certain key things you hear over and over again with all your clients. Can you share some of those? Because I'm sure if the women in the audience hear this, they're going to go, "Oh my gosh, that's me," you know?
they're never happy. They're never happy with their body. They're never happy with how great they're doing or how good they look, and I'm constantly praising them, and giving them making them feel better about themselves. And it's so strange, but you give someone a compliment and they'll say yeah but, or oh, it's the outfit, or it's whatever. So they have such a hard time just accepting that they do look great, and they are beautiful, and they are doing a good job. And women are so hard on themselves when it comes to their body image. And I know a lot of that has to do with society and magazines and social media and everything that's out there. I think that it's starting to get a little bit better these days. And you see that in the news and in the magazines, things are starting to change, but there's just been so much pressure, put on women and for how we look. And so I hear these comments all day long with, oh, my butt's too big, or my thighs, or whatever. It's always something. There's
Right,
always
right. You're
something
always
not
finding something to complain about.
that's not perfect enough, right? And we just have to
Right.
realize that we are imperfectly perfect, and just love ourselves and love our body just the way it is. And the more that we can do that, the more we're going to help every other woman on the planet to feel good about herself. If we can just say thank you, and accept the compliment and praise each other and build each other up.
Right, right.
You
And
know
I think it's also really important for women to understand that, you know what? Wherever you're at, you're perfect.
exactly.
And that even if you're not wearing that size 2 or size 5, that's okay. I mean, if you look at the pictures from like the 1800s, the old paintings they did, the women were all voluptuous
Right.
then,
They were full
right? And
figured.
that was what was in fashion. And so
Exactly.
who says we have to define ourselves to what the norms are today?
Exactly. That's correct. So it's a matter of getting women to realize that they don't
Right.
have to be a certain way. They don't have to fit into a certain picture. And so I teach seminars, Louise Hay, on loving your body and on accepting yourself, and on mirror work, where we're looking in a mirror and we're talking to ourselves and we're seeing what our reflection is telling us. So there's so much work that I do with all of the Louise Hay and self love and self healing that is so great, especially
Yeah,
for
that mirror work, I use it all the time
do
also in
you?
my coaching, and, I think when I first started doing it, when I learned it in school, it's probably one of the hardest things for us to do at the beginning,
It
to
is.
really look at yourself in the eyes and say, "I love you. Oh, I love that. That's a love
I have
mirror."
my mirror right here at my desk, and I use it daily. It can be difficult at first. It feels strange, it feels silly, it feels weird. And
but we don't trust it either, but the old saying, "Fake it till you make it," I think is really appropriate here because the more that we say to ourselves, "You know
Yes.
what? I love you. You're beautiful just the way you are. You have so many wonderful, caring, great qualities."
Right.
We then can start to believe in ourselves and then shine that way. So,
I agree.
yeah, it's powerful, powerful stuff.
One
So,
that has really helped me though, doing that, the mirror work or talking to myself, which is really effective, is just talking to the little girl within.
mm,
Because we're just, we're all we're our little girl within, you know what I mean? So it's just a matter of acknowledging her and telling her, "You're beautiful, you're wonderful, I love you exactly as you are, and I'll always be there for you, and, I'll always have your back," and just see yourself as that little girl, then I think it's easier to
yeah.
relate,
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah,
you
that
know?
sounds really, really powerful.
It
So
is.
thank you for
Oh, you're
adding
welcome.
that twist to it.
You're welcome.
I always like new twists on things.
Yes.
Um, so I understand that you focus a lot on the mind and body and the importance of overall happiness. Can you expound on that a bit more, please?
On the mind and body connection.
Yeah, and yeah, the whole thing related to
Yeah.
what you do and
Sure.
then
Right. Everything begins in the mind. It's all a mindset. Our minds are so powerful. I think it's 70,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day. So are we aware of what those thoughts are? Probably not, because we're not taking the time to slow down and listen to them. So our mind is what's controlling our whole life. So what happens is we think a thought, and then automatically, based on whatever we're thinking, then we're feeling something, whether it's good or bad, depending on the thought. And then our bodies follow whatever we're feeling. So then our bodies take action, right? So it's a thought, it's a feeling, and then it's an action. So if we're thinking negatively most of the day, then our actions, which is our body, is then being affected and it's following. So if we have the right mindset and we're feeling, and we have to work at it because it just doesn't come natural, right? It's something that we
right.
have to work on. And the more that we work on it and we develop that muscle of putting the positivity in there by doing the positive affirmations, by telling, by looking in the mirror and saying, "I love you," and doing all of that on a regular, repetitive basis, then we're going to start to change our mindset. And then the more that we change our mindset, the better we feel. We feel good, we're happy, and then we create positive changes in our life. And then the happier we are, then the more happiness gravitates towards us, right? Because like attracts like, the law of attraction.
Abs-
And
yeah,
then things just start working. Our lives become better. Our relationships become better. We make more money. Our finances are better. Everything is better because we're happy.
right, right,
So
absolutely. And I do hypnotherapy as well and deal with the subconscious mind. And you're
love that.
saying that the conscious mind has 70,000 thoughts a day, and they say that the subconscious mind has like 10 times that amount. And so this is all going on in the subconscious behind us, these powerful negative messages. And I always tell everybody that I really feel like we're kind of born, we're hardwired for negativity only
Yes.
because we hear so much of it from the first 6 years of our life. We're in kind of that theta brainwave state, which is the hypnosis state. And everybody's telling us, no, don't do that, you're not good enough, try harder, all these other things. And we don't know how to separate those things at that point. We're too young. We don't have the right tools in order to say, no, 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 that's their shtick, it's not me. And so
Exactly.
that's yeah, so I feel like we're hardwired for that negativity just because by osmosis. And
Yes.
so our job our whole life is to kind of undo
Right.
that
Well,
programming.
and it's worse for some of us than others, depending on your upbringing. It could be,
Absolutely.
yeah, could
Right.
be
If you had
scary.
physical or
Youth,
verbal abuse,
right.
absolutely. I mean,
Yes.
and a lot of times, like, you and I aren't so far apart in age, and I was in the generation where we didn't talk about feelings. It wasn't allowed, and um, kind of that only speak when you're spoken to type
Yes,
of attitude. And it's interesting because we weren't allowed to express our feelings. And that doesn't mean that my mother was a bad mother. She was doing what she was told. You know what I mean? So it's like generation follows generation. And so
yes,
oftentimes, as you know, we have to like these programs that are going through our mind are generational, and we got to get rid of
we do.
those as to break those patterns so we can go forward and create a new reality and new relationships with ourselves and everybody around us.
Right. And that's where I think the hypnosis is really powerful because a lot of times we can't remember all of those things, right? But the hypnosis can bring us back to that certain point where we can have that memory and then we can release it and let it go.
Absolutely. And then watch the ripple effect forward.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I love working with the subconscious mind because, you can say, when was the take you to the first time a certain incident or trigger happened.
Yes.
And it's so amazing what the person might think is a trigger, but where they actually end up and what shows up is a completely different thing. And that's the beginning point because a lot of times they couldn't even see the connection between those two events.
Right. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just to
yeah,
discover that. Yes.
yeah. So all these tools are wonderful. You know
They
what I
are.
mean? It's like I feel so blessed that we're like in this generation where so many things are being revealed right now to us to really help us to grow and be our true potential in
Yes.
this world right now, which is
Yeah.
really, really incredible.
It is. There's so much that is open to us. And in the classes that I teach with Louise Hay and Loving Yourself, we get in a lot into forgiveness because forgiveness is huge, right? Because if we're
Yes,
holding on to all of the stuff from the childhood that our parents didn't know any better, we have to release that and let that go. And we have to forgive them because
right.
they
But
didn't know.
exactly. And on top of that, I always teach people, and I've done a couple of classes on here also on my show, is we have to forgive ourselves for
Yes,
hanging on to it so long.
absolutely.
Because
Yes,
as you know, when we hang on to all of that stuff, then it comes out in our body as disease, right?
exactly. Self love, self compassion, all of that.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is why I love teaching what I teach, because it all boils down to that, to loving yourself and having compassion for yourself and accepting yourself exactly as you are. It's just wonderful, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Healing.
absolutely. So what is the most important thing that you want to tell women who are recently divorced or widowed?
I would say to just focus on themselves and focus on their own joy, what brings them happiness, and just finding peace, whether it's being out in nature or journaling or meditation or their own spiritual practice, whatever that may be. It's just finding what makes them happy inside, because that's the most important thing, is that self-love, focusing on themselves first. So all the attention that was outside of themselves on whoever was in their life, just to bring it all on themselves and just take time, take the time, however long it takes for them to heal and just to be at a place where their heart is open and again, and they feel peace and joy and
Right.
happiness.
And I think a lot of times, I know for me in my journey, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think probably in your journey also, from all the learning you're doing, I
Hmm.
mean, we go into this, it's a healing journey for ourselves as well.
It is.
And I think one of the things that's really important for women to understand is, yes, you need to find this happy place, but it's really hard to find it on your own. And so having a coach, having a mentor, having somebody
Yes.
who can help you is
Yes.
so important to help you get there so much faster and to give you the clarity and
Yes.
to help you grow leaps and bounds. And I think the other thing that I just want to say really quickly is, the big difference between coaching and like therapy. Therapy is mostly focused on the past and what happened,
Hmm.
and coaching is really about where you are now and where do you want to get to. Because the
Yes,
past happened, you can't do anything about it except for come to peace with it. You
exactly.
can't change it anyway. So why rehash it?
Right. Let it go.
Let it go. Learn
Forgive,
how to let
forgive
it go.
yourself.
For
Mhm.
exactly, forgive everybody. You don't even have to tell the person you forgive them, just forgive them in your heart,
Right.
and so you can move forward and get where you wanna be in your own personal happiness and your own
Exactly.
personal growth.
Exactly. I totally
Yeah,
agree. Yes. We're on the same page there.
yeah, I know well, yeah, it's important for people to understand you can try to do this by yourself, but, how much time have you spent already, and you're still in the same place you were 3, 5, 10, 20, 80 years ago.
Everybody needs support.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
we all need to know that somebody has our back. We need a friend, we need a community, we need a coach, we need a mentor. We need a support system of people around us who love us and care about us. And of course, we need to care about our love ourselves. But it's so important to have that support.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. So can you tell me a little bit about your 3 and 6 months courses and how they benefit women?
Yes, I have a 3 month and a 6 month course. You can find that on my website. And those courses were developed for women who are coming out of unhealthy relationships, or toxic relationships, or just who find themselves in the same patterns over and over again.
Mhm.
And in the in both of those courses, of course, the 6 month we get in much deeper, but we just go through the patterns in relationships. And we go through the childhood beliefs, what we learned growing up. Um, and we just go into self-discovery and why they're attracting those types of, based on our patterns, right, those types of
Yes.
relationships. We work on reprogramming the subconscious, working through forgiveness, just becoming aware of their mindset. So we just work on everything so that we can let it go, forgive it, and then reinvent a new belief system, a new life, and a new person. So it's just, and the 6 month is just more in depth. We just get into it, much deeper. We go through meditation and mindfulness and a little of everything.
Right,
Yeah,
right. I think, the longer support is definitely,
it's better for sure.
um yeah, for sure. So,
Right,
I
because
know in the 2 years that I've been went through my got divorced 2 years ago, I was doing nonstop growing before that, but I really used these 2 years to just
yes,
work with I've spent so much money, but it's so beneficial, like, you can't with feeling good and feeling positive and having impact on every relationship around you, it's, like, priceless. You can't put
it is.
a number on that.
No, you cannot. And it takes, like I said earlier, it takes time. So you're 2 years later, you're still growing, you're still healing, same with myself. It's a 2 year, you know, so period that I've been in a healing process myself, and I'm loving it. I love it. It's great. I love learning, like you just said, because it feels good, right? The more you learn, the better you feel. But I just don't think that people should rush it. I don't
No,
think
for
that they should,
sure.
like we were talking about 3 months or 6 months. Of course, 6 months is better because 3 months, it takes long. It takes, no, I'm not going to say it takes long. That's not the right term, but it takes
No,
time.
I think people right. If they're willing to be honest and to work, they'll start to see transformation right away, but to
Right.
really make it stick, they really need the continuity of a longer program.
Exactly. Exactly. And not jumping back into another relationship or another situation before you heal.
Right.
Really,
Right.
really going through that healing process is just so important.
So I know I'm gonna put up here on the screen here Why don't you tell my audience a little bit about this offer that you have for them?
Oh, okay. That is the program that I was talking about earlier. This is the Pilates and the Awaken Your Mind transformation program. And I'm offering $100 off. The regular price of the program is $1,800. It's a 6-week program where we meet twice a week. So for 90 minutes, I'm sorry, so for 60 minutes, we're exercising and we're getting physically fit, and then coaching for another 30 minutes. So that's twice a week. And we'll figure out the time between one another and what works best with our schedules. And we meet on Zoom, and I'm offering right now $100 off that program for anyone who's interested. And it's a great way, it's a great start to get back on track to feeling good. Because, like I said, feeling good is more than just exercise. It's everything. It starts in the mind first. So you really need to work both at the same time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, do they need a special code to get that 100 off, or how does that work?
If they just send me a message, I'll send them an email with a code, and then they can put that in at checkout. So they can
Okay,
email me at Lisa T. Daniel at AOL.com.
okay, perfect. So, say that one more time, just in
Lisa,
case.
Lisa T. Daniel at AOL.com.
Awesome. So, if you email her at Lisa T. Daniel at AOL.com, she'll give you the code for $100 off of this amazing program.
Yes,
And that's awesome. She'll find a time to work with you. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can get this transformation. I think that was the only great benefit of COVID. It made the world so much smaller, and that, people got used to seeing and working with people over Zoom. It's such a huge benefit that you're not, limited to,
exactly.
your hometown.
Right. And it's so convenient just to be at home.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So I want to thank you, Lisa. This has been so amazing and so informational. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on my show with me. And ladies, we'll see you next week. And hold on one second.